Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Hello students, it's Hypothesis part 4. Let's get started. So number 5, Null Hypothesis. This hypothesis is also known as statistical hypothesis. The null hypothesis predicts that there is no relation between the independent variable and the dependent variable. It predicts the results obtained are due to chance. In null hypothesis, the researcher or the investigator doesn't speak any kind of relationship between dependent variable and the independent variable. He doesn't show any direct relationship between the cause and effect. He directly rejects the existing relationship between the independent and dependent variable. For example, there is no relationship between education and political consciousness. What we had seen in other types of hypothesis or other types of hypothetical statements, if this statement is in a simple hypothesis, then it will go like there is a relationship between education and political consciousness. But when we take it into null hypothesis, then it will come like there is no relationship between education and political consciousness. That means the observer or the investigator is directly rejecting the existing relationship between education and political consciousness. The number 6, associative hypothesis. What associative hypothesis means? Associative hypothesis predicts an associative relationship between the independent variable and the dependent variable. If one variable changes, the other variable changes. That means in associative hypothesis or in these types of hypothetical statements, the researcher will show an associative and interactive relationship between the cause and effect. That means if one variable changes, then automatically the changes will come to the other variables also. For example, education increases the level of critical thinking. So here education is the independent variable. So if one gets higher education or if he is highly educated, then the level of thinking will be high. So in these types of cases, the researcher or the investigator show the direct relationship between the variables, that is independent variable and the dependent variable. The number 7, causal hypothesis. Causal hypothesis predicts a cause and effect relationship or interaction between the independent variable and dependent variable. It implies that a stated variable is responsible for any observed effect. So in this type of hypothetical statements or hypothesis, the researcher and the investigator will show direct and close relationship between the cause and effect. For example, teacher training program will increase the teaching qualities of the teachers. So here the researcher or the investigator directly showing the relationship between the teacher training program and the teaching qualities of the teachers. So in this type of hypothetical statement, the researcher tries to show that the cause and effect are directly related to each other. So these are the sources.